Hi everyone. Today we are coming on to the last law framed by Mendel, that is law of independent assortment. So this law, that is law of independent assortment, was framed by Mendel based on his dihybrid cross. An explanation of what dihybrid cross is was dealt with in the previous session, but let me just rewind that. In short, I'll just explain to you. See here, dihybrid cross means you take two characters into account. Here the two characters taken are seed shape and seed color, round yellow, wrinkled green. Their true breeding parents are crossed, gametes, and then in the F1 generation, you're getting all seeds which are round and having yellow color. And next step is self-crossing of F1. The self-crossing of F1, the gametes that you get is very important. You can see here the gametes I have written like gametes. During gamete formation, what happens? The alleles of a character separate out, isn't it? So these are the two alleles of a character, capital R, small r. This is getting separated out, capital R, small r, I have separated and written. Again, alleles of the other character, capital Y, small y, separated and written. Or you can write like this also, capital R, small r, capital Y, small y, I have separated one by one and I have written. Now, the next thing is, inside a gamete, there will not be just one allele, but there will be one allele of one character only. How is that possible? It will have one allele of one character, another allele of the second character, another allele of the third character, likewise. That means, one gamete will have one allele of each of the characters present in that individual. Is that point clear to you? One gamete will have only one allele of each of the character present in that individual. So here, since two characters are taken, this one gamete will have one allele of a character, another allele of a character. Again, this gamete will also have one allele of a character, another allele of a character. Same way, all the four gametes. But you will never get a gamete like capital R, small r together because there are two alleles of the same character here. No. The alleles separate out in gametes. This is the law of segregation, isn't it? During gamete formation, the alleles separate out. Alleles of a character separate out. So that is why capital R, small r are there in different gametes. Similarly, capital Y, small y are there in different gametes. So they separate out. Now here also I have just written the separation. Now the other allele I can combine in any way. Capital Y here, small y here, again capital R here, small r here. This is the same. Small r and small y. Because small r it will never combine in a gamete. So if you put two alleles together, what does that represent? It is not representing the gamete, it is representing that particular trait, that character. When character you write the alleles together. Inside the gametes, what do? You separate the alleles and write. I hope you got it. Now moving on to the next step, we have written the gametes. Now we should know how these gametes combine to form the F2 progeny. In order to understand that, I had already explained to you the Punnett square in the previous video. Punnett square. So please check on to that video if you want to learn the basics of Punnett square. Here we are going to apply that Punnett square so that we get the F2 progeny of dihybrid cross. So in order to write the Punnett square is a graphical representation, okay, of the possible genotypes. So in order to write the Punnett square, the first step is separate out the gametes into rows and columns. So I am writing the left column first, capital R, capital Y, capital R, small y, small r, capital Y, small r, small y. Just written the gametes. And again on the top I am writing the parents of other gametes. The same combination I am going to write so that it will be easy for you. Capital R, capital Y, capital R, small y, small r, capital Y, small r, small y. So the gametes written. Now next step, separate out the gametes. I am separating the top gametes from the left column gametes. Okay. Then I am going to separate each of these gametes on the top. Now next I am going to separate each of the gametes on the left column. Gametes are all separated. Now only one step is left. What is that? You fill up the squares. How to fill up the squares? Very simple. Take each square and write the gamete which is there on the left and there on the top. Just write. In this square, gamete on the left is capital R, capital Y. Gamete on the top is also capital R, capital Y. So I have written it is in alphabets, isn't it? So I have represented here the genotype. So what is the genotype? The alleles for a character are same here. So it is homozygous. And what about the phenotype? Phenotype means external appearance. All plants are having round seeds and they are having yellow color. Come to the next column. What is the gamete here? Next column also how to write? Combine the gametes on the left and the gamete on the top. Don't take this one. You should combine the gametes only. So gametes on the left is capital R, small y. On the top is capital R, capital Y. So this is homozygous for one character and heterozygous for the other character, isn't it? That is the genotype. Now what is the phenotype? Capital R is there. So you can write seeds are round. Capital Y and small y is there. So what will you write? Whether it is yellow or green? Yes, since capital Y is dominant, we can write it is yellow. Need not look at the small y because capital Y is there means capital Y will suppress the expression of that small y. That's that recessive allele. Capital Y, that is the dominant allele. So again the character is round yellow. Regarding the explanation of this, children, how one is suppressing the other, what is expressed, what is dominant, what is recessive, please refer to the previous videos. It is explained very clearly in those videos. Now here again left gamete is small r, capital Y. Top one is capital R, capital Y. Now since we have written all these three, just understand this gamete in this column, capital R, capital Y is there for sure. So all the progeny which is coming here will be having round seeds and yellow colored seeds. Because this gamete is common for all these. Though gametes are differing here, this is common. So all the progeny will have round seed and yellow color seeds. So that is to avoid confusion, I just told you. So it will also have round yellow color seeds. Because this is capital R, capital Y will come in all the columns. Small r, small y, capital R, capital Y. Capital R, capital Y is there. So naturally it will be round and plants will have yellow color. Okay. Now same thing you can apply in this square also. See, it is very simple. Capital R, capital Y is here on the left. So how to combine the gametes? Left, top, isn't it? So left capital R, capital Y will be coming in all the squares. So again in all these squares, the character you can write there at it as round and yellow. Round and yellow. So I'll just write it for you. Capital R, capital Y, top, capital R, small y. Again left, capital R, capital Y, top, small r, capital Y. Again left, capital R, capital Y, top, it is small r, small y. So capital R, capital Y is there in all the columns. So again the plant will be round, will have round seeds and yellow colored seeds. For lack of space, I hope you are following. Round yellow. Okay. Now since we got so many round yellow seeds here, let's just write down how many round yellow we got. Let's write the number. How many round yellow seeds did we get? Just let us write the number here. Round seeds having yellow color. How many we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We got here round yellow seeds 7. Again, is there any other column where possibility is coming as round yellow? Just find out. Capital R and capital Y will come together. Here capital R will come but capital Y won't come. Here you see capital R, capital Y will come together. Anyway, let's take one by one and slowly we'll move forward and we'll understand. See. Next, shall I fill up this particular column? Okay, so to fill up this column, what should I do? Take the left gamete, combine with the top gamete. What is the left gamete? Capital R, small y. What is the top gamete? Capital R, small y. So capital R is there, so seed is going to be round. But is capital Y available? No. But what is available? Small y. Both are small y's. So the seed will have wrinkled shape. Wrinkled seed. This point is clear. We got another character. Round seed. Sorry, not wrinkled. I'm sorry. Green color. Round and wrinkled, how is it possible? It cannot come together. Small y means it is green in color. I'm sorry. So, round seeds having small y, so it is green in color. Let us see if more are coming. If more are coming, we'll count and write. Okay. Now again here, how is it? It is coming here in this column. You have to combine the left gamete with the top gamete. What is the left gamete? Small r, capital Y. Top gamete is capital R, small y. Is it round or wrinkled? It is round because capital R is there, isn't it? So seeds are round. What about the color? Yellow, because capital Y is there. So round yellow we got one more. So I am writing here plus 1. Plus 1. Okay. Now next column. Left small r, small y. Top capital R, small y. So what about the seed shape? Capital R is there. So no doubt it is round. Is there any capital Y? No, only small y. So the seed is having what color? Green color. So we got here round, green, 2 in number. So let us write that, 2. Because more are coming. If we write and go together, it will be easy for you to count. Similarly, next column. Next column, left gamete, capital R, small y. Top gamete, small r, capital Y. I hope it is clear, isn't it? Round, because capital R is there, and yellow, since capital Y is there. So round yellow, round yellow, round yellow, round yellow. I'm putting here +1. One more we got, round yellow. Okay. Next one, see here, this column, small r, capital Y, small r, capital Y. Both are small r. So in this column, is the seed coming round? No, because capital R is not there. So what about the seed shape? Here we are getting a new seed shape. Wrinkled. What about the color? Capital Y is there. So it is yellow. Yellow. So I got one more character. Let me write that. Wrinkled seed having yellow color. I got only one here now. Now next column also. Small r, small y, left gamete. Top gamete, small r, capital Y. So seed is again wrinkled. What about the color? Capital Y, so yellow. Wrinkled yellow. So again one more I got. Wrinkled yellow. Again this one, now it is easy for you. Left capital R, small y. Top small r, small y. So what is the seed type? It is round. But what about the color? Small y, small y. So it is green. Round green. See here. Round green. Round green. We got one more. Round green. Okay. Now next column. Next column. Small r. Capital Y. Small r. Small y. Small r. Small r. So it is going to be wrinkled and capital Y is there. So it is going to be yellow, wrinkled yellow. I am getting one more. Now only last column is left. What is that last column? Small r, small y on the left. Small r, small y on the top as well. So all the characters are recessive here. All the characters are recessive means seed will be wrinkled and seed will have green color. So new combination I got. Wrinkled seed with green color. That is only one I got. I have filled up all the squares. Let us see what the total is. Here I am getting 9. Here I am getting 3. 1 plus 1 plus 1, 3. Here only 1. So I am getting the F2 progeny as 9 is to 3 is to 3 is to 1. Among that, 9 is maximum number. Here both the characters that I have taken, both of them are round. 1 is the least number. Here both the characters, that is seed shape and seed color that I have taken, this is round and yellow. So both are dominant coming here. Here I have taken 1, that is wrinkled green. Both are coming over here as recessive. That means the character most number is 9, round dominant, least number is 1, wrinkled green. So this is the F2 progeny. The whole box is showing the F2 progeny. And these are the numbers. And this is the F2 ratio. That is all for dihybrid cross. What is the ratio? 9 is to 3 is to 3 is to 1. This is what ratio? F2 phenotypic ratio for dihybrid cross. This is phenotypic ratio. I have just written the external appearance. Round yellow, both dominant. Wrinkled green, both recessive. See here, round green, wrinkled yellow. So based on this, Mendel framed the third law, law of independent assortment, which says that when two pairs of traits are combined, here two pairs of traits means two characters are seed shape and seed color. When they are combined, segregation or separation of one pair of character is independent of the other pair of character. Means two characters, seed shape and seed color, round and yellow. Always round seeds need not be yellow. Round seeds can be green also. That is, separation of these characters are independent and they are combined independent of the other. It is not necessary that always round seeds are yellow. Round seeds can be green also. Assortment is independent. That is the meaning. Two pairs of traits are combined in a hybrid. Segregation of one pair of character is independent of the other. They separate out independent in the gametes. See here, capital R can go with small y in a gamete. Capital R can also go with small y in another gamete. Capital R, capital Y, capital R, small y. So, assortment is independent. Again, wrinkled seed can be yellow in color. Wrinkled seed can be green in color. So, this clearly states that when two pairs of traits are combined in a hybrid, segregation or separation of one pair of character is independent of the other pair of character. This law you need not by heart, it is very easy. Here more than one pairs of characters are taken, so it is based on dihybrid cross. And what happens there? Combination of one pair of character or segregation is independent of the other pair of character. So with this we come to the end of all the three laws framed by Mendel. In the coming video, in the next video, I will be explaining to you or discussing with you the different questions, the possible questions that can be asked based on Mendelian genetics. Thank you for now.